Hey there, everybody, and welcome into Main Street Living. I'm Danielle Alvari.
I'm Brandy Paul.
I'm Cheryl Nelson. Good to be here, guys. And I've got a different location today. Yeah. I am on the road once again. Danielle, I'm not far from you.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's very exciting to see you traveling again, Cheryl. I know that was something that was very dear to your heart, and so it's good to see you back out on the road.
Oh, thank you guys so much. Yeah, it's going to be so much going on with the holidays around the corner, and I'm so excited about that. And what do you guys have planned? I mean, are you doing anything? Are you going to be cooking, making drinks?
So I don't know if you guys can see my Thanksgiving fall gnomes behind me, but their time is short. They're going to be leaving a little bit because I'm going to make Christmas throw up all over my house. So I'm excited to bring out the garland, the annual pictures. I'm ready for it.
When's the transition? When's the transition to Christmas?
It just, when the spirit hits me, when I'm feeling, maybe I'm in Nebraska. So maybe when those first snowflakes start falling any day now, who knows?
Because people debate this, like when you can decorate for Christmas.
It is a big deal. I have friends who have already put their stuff up. No shame. They are happy about it. They're ready to go into Thanksgiving in the Christmas spirit.
I am that friend. But this is my first year doing so. I just needed a little bit of extra holly jolly, and I thought we're going straight into Christmas.
Oh, I think that's fun. And I do feel bad for Thanksgiving, though, because all the Thanksgiving decorations, they kind of get shafted because people go right from Halloween to Christmas these days, and we just skip over all the Halloween decorations, right? I mean, I love Christmas. Don't get me wrong. I would do Christmas all year round. But what do all the stores do with all those Thanksgiving decorations now?
Save them till next year.
Also, Christmas has better colors. You have to admit.
For
Christmas
sure.
has better colors. Yes. The decorations are more plentiful and they're usually more fun. And I just think that Christmas just has something special about it. And I think Thanksgiving is mostly about the food, which, by the way, when you talk about what are we excited to eat, pies. I love pie season.
Oh, my thing is dips. I've never met a dip I didn't like. Dip bread, crackers, chips, whatever. I'm there for it.
Oh, give me some guacamole. And Brandy, I don't know if you know this, but Danielle, she is a great baker. And the pies, Danielle, what are your favorites?
I'm excited to make an apple. I've never made a pumpkin, so maybe that's in my future here, but I'm excited to make an apple. My favorite is strawberry rhubarb, but that's more of a summer pie. So I'm very excited for just like some standard apple pie at Christmas, but also the ways you can kind of decorate the tops differently. So I'm excited to try something out new this year.
Send pictures.
Yes. I've got a challenge for you though, Danielle. So I'm a
You want a cat pie?
Well, yeah, you could decorate it, but a gluten-free vegan pie. Can you make that?
I can't promise it will be edible, but I can make it for you. Losing the gluten is hard. Bakers know. Baking gluten-free is difficult.
It is, but I think it's going to be a challenge. Brandy, what about you? What's your favorite thing to eat the holidays?
Everything? Is that an option? I really try and be smart and healthy most of the time, but I tell you, on Thanksgiving or holiday gatherings, I'm out. I lose.
And I love the dip. To your point, it just feels socially acceptable to eat a ton of dip at a party. And let's dip into what we have coming up in the show here. We're going to meet a very special teacher of the year, and we're going to see some incredible sandcastles.
Yeah, those stories are unforgettable. We also have an unforgettable story from a practicing attorney who his own life journey and accident motivated him to help others.
Absolutely. And do you work from the road? We will talk with a digital nomad who will share some tips to inspire your next road trip. But first, we'll tell you all about Pilots to the Rescue and how they are helping animals.
Welcome back into Main Street Living. Now, whether or not you own a pet, it's hard to dispute the positive impact that animals can have on our lives. Cheryl, I know you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes. You all know by now that I am a dedicated animal lover and a proud cat mom of 4 rescue spoiled kitties. And recently I was invited to tag along on a very special rescue mission with Pilots to the Rescue.
I am so excited to see this. All right, let's take a look at this incredible group making a difference for a plane load of beautiful cats.
Love, It feeds our souls. It's that warm, fuzzy feeling we all crave. No matter who we are, where we come from, or what we look like, one thing is constant, and that is love. As much as humans need this basic emotion, our companion animals crave love too. Michael Schneider, pilot and animal angel as I'll call him, founded the nonprofit, volunteer-driven 501c3 organization Pilots to the Rescue in 2010. His mission? To not only rescue animals from potential euthanasia at overcrowded shelters, but also to inspire others.
We help create awareness. This is a novel concept, transporting animals with a plane. It's not something you hear about all the time. If I can inspire someone to focus on doing what they really are passionate about, that creates a little transformational shift in our world. We're all connected.
Thanks to Michael and his group of volunteer pilots, many animals whose time may have otherwise been up now have hope.
You're okay.
As a cat mom of 4, I jumped at the opportunity to go along on a cat rescue mission with Pilots to the Rescue.
Hi! Are you Bobby?
I'm Bobby.
Nice to meet you.
You must be Cheryl.
Yes.
Bobby Aronson is a volunteer pilot with Pilots to the Rescue. And the reason he volunteers his time to save animals is simple and comes from the heart.
It's a great, harmonious, symbiotic relationship, we have with these animals. So it's special.
Today's mission is to rescue cats in need from several rural animal shelters in North and South Carolina. After completing routine safety checks, we settled into the Piper Saratoga aircraft's cockpit and we were airborne. Destination? Asheboro, North Carolina.
In southern states, counties, it's very hard, difficult. Yeah, there's so many cats and kittens there. Nobody will go get one or just go adopt one. Very few adoptions take place, if any. There are too many running loose that you could go pick up and just carry home with you. You don't need to go adopt one. Most people there don't spay and neuter, which makes the problem worse and worse and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh my gosh.
Now we are in Asheboro, North Carolina, and we are transporting 30 cats and kittens, giving them a second chance at life and an opportunity to find love.
It's the greatest thing ever. And we just have people that cry when they leave, and just knowing that they're not going to grow up in a shelter.
It means everything to me to get some out. I love cats, and I don't want to see them die or be discarded. Dillon's a small town, and there aren't many fosters, and you can only keep so many, at your house. So we have to get them somewhere, and this is a godsend for us.
As we secured our precious feline cargo in our plane, nervous meows and hisses came from their cat carriers. However, it brought comfort to know that soon these cuddly cats and kittens would be purring in the arms of their new fosters and adopters in New England.
Thank you, Pilots to the Rescue.
As Bobby fired up the engine, the cats became surprisingly quiet. But the bravest of them all was a beautiful, fearless calico kitten who spent most of the flight on my warm lap.
Made it to Westboro to check on the kitties. Oh my goodness!
Although there was a chill in the air, our hearts were warm because our fuzzy felines handled their first flight like champs. As we unloaded our precious cargo, a modern-day Catwoman superhero from Cattail's Animal Rescue in New Hampshire arrived on the tarmac to help get our cats to safety.
We put a lot of time, love, money, and just investment into them, but it's blood, sweat, and tears.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And we don't get paid for what we do.
Rescuing animals is a labor of love, and Cattails helps to give cats in particular a voice.
Cats are grossly underrepresented, and that's when I knew I had to help cats. Because for every 5 dog rescuers, there's 1 cat rescuer. And it broke my heart.
A piece of Amanda's heart now belongs to Pilots to the Rescue.
They have saved me this year alone probably about 40,000 miles on my car from trips that I normally would make down south. What they're doing for animals and changing the animal transport scene is incredible.
With wings outstretched, they are angels in the sky. making it possible for our companion animals to receive the most fundamental needs.
They want nothing from us except to be loved and fed. You know, a lot of things. The biggest reward is when you match a cat up to their human.
While adoption may not be an option for everyone, there are simple actions that anyone can take to help cats in need.
They can talk to their legislators. They can demand change. They can push for people to take care of their animals better, push for stronger spay-neuter laws and programs, donate to their local shelters, offer to volunteer.
With fuel prices on the rise, Pilots to the Rescue would not be possible without generous donations from supporters. If paw prints have left a mark on your heart, please visit pilotstotherescue.org to learn more about how you can make a difference.
The more people that know about Pilots to the Rescue, the more animals we'll be able to save, and the more missions we'll be able to do.
You guys, this was the coolest experience that I've gotten to do in a long time. Just saving all those cats. I wanted to adopt them all. Oh, I couldn't
It's
help
got
it.
Cheryl written all over it.
Yeah,
Just
are
from
you
top
sure
to
you
bottom.
didn't just sneak a few in your purse? Like just
Oh man, I wanted to. I'm telling you, I wanted to. If I could have a cat sanctuary, they would all be at my house. But thank goodness for people like these volunteer pilots and all of the rescue organizations who help the animals. And again, for more information, please go to pilotstotherescue.org to learn more.
Amazing. We love to see it, Cheryl. Especially love seeing you out in the field. And speaking of getting out there, next up, we have some sand art that you have to see to believe. Welcome back into Main Street Living now, Brandy. Cheryl, you guys know I was very fortunate to get to grow up in California. I got to go to beaches a lot. And one of the best part of going to a beach as a kid was getting to play in the sand and make sandcastles.
Heck yeah, that's still one of my favorite parts. And I am not a kid anymore, although my castles are just kind of interpretive art piles, but
abstract
imagination comes in, right?
Absolutely. I don't blame you. It's all about having the fun. And the first annual Atlantis Rising International Sand Sculpture Competition was recently held in Rhode Island, and these creations are nothing short of remarkable. Take a look.
Greg Grady, and I am the organizer of the first Atlantis Rising International Sand Sculpting Competition at the Squamicut State Beach in Westerly. We have 10 world-class competitors from as far away as South Korea, the Netherlands, Italy, and Canada. They're all competing for over $40,000 in show-up and prize money.
So this is the first year in Rhode Island that we have this competition. We're very excited. It's one of the strongest competitions that I've been at.
It's been fantastic. This is definitely a top-notch, world-class competition. Incredible sand, incredible organization, incredible sculptors.
You got the best in the world right here. I've been competing for over 30 years in contests. This is the strongest field that I've ever seen in my 30 years of competition.
We have something for everyone here. Llamas, Aquaman for a photo op. We have craft vendors, more than 15 food trucks down here, wine and beer, live music. The Australian Bee Gees are playing tonight, which is over the top.
I did a piece that's, I think the crowd will like it. It's called Illusional Pinocchio. And you can see him come to life, different views. And the crowd seems to be liking it.
So I'd like to hear a big round of applause for all these sculptors, if we could. We will start with third place winner, $4,000, Martine Ryerson, The Winds of Change. Second place, $5,000, Suzanne Wusler, Octofont of Atlantis.
I did some research about Atlantis, and I found out that there used to be elephants living on Atlantis when it wasn't sunken under the water yet. And then I imagined if the elephant would be living underwater for many years and now they're rising, what they would look like. And that's what I made. I made like a mix between an elephant and an octopus, kind of a weird creature, very big.
And for your first annual International Sand Sculpting Festival winner, Melanage Beauregard from Hawaii, sculpted Balance.
My piece is balance. The inspiration about it is how in life we are influenced. We have to find our balance between all this that trying to pull us or push us or support us also sometimes, but it's to find our balance.
The caliber that you have here is the best in the world, truly.
It's a world-class event the first year, and it will continue that way, if I know Greg.
This is the first year. It's just going to keep getting bigger and better.
Wow. That is a far cry from my little piles. Those were amazing.
Oh. We have a lot to learn. We have a lot to learn. The detail is impeccable.
Yeah, I'm just not that detailed. I don't think I can do that. So I will leave the sand sculpting to them. But something maybe I could do, stay tuned for our next segment, because have you ever dreamed of becoming a digital nomad? We'll explain coming up next.
Welcome back into Main Street Living. Now, I'm sure we're all tired of hearing about the pandemic, but there's really a lot of things that were changed, and there's some things that are likely to never go back to the way they were before. And I think that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, that's right, Danielle. Working from home has become normal for a lot of professions, and many travel enthusiasts like myself have started to realize that home can be just about anywhere that you have an internet connection. To explore more about this exciting shift, please welcome back adventure travel photographer Stephen to the show. Great to have you on Main Street Living again.
Yeah, happy to be here. Good morning.
Good morning. So you and Giselle are essentially professional road trippers, which I think is fabulous. You both used to work regular 9-to-5 jobs, but now you're working from wherever you decide to spend your day. Tell us how you were able to make this transition. I might need some tips for myself.
It was kind of our COVID project. We both worked the 9-to-5. I own my own small business, and Giselle worked as a marketing director, and she came up with this crazy idea, like, what if we started taking our photos and trying to help other people travel, other 9-to-5 workers. We always got questions on how we traveled so much, even though we worked full-time jobs. So that was our whole goal, just to help other full-time workers get out, tell them little budget hacks or ways to save time and save money, and then places that are pretty local, especially in California. And it started during the pandemic, and ever since then, it's just kind of grown into our own business. And now we got to quit our 9-to-5s and do this full-time.
You are literally living my life dream goal right here. All right, so Stephen, I've got this. Do I need more tools to invest in a journey like this? What would you advise people to get?
Yeah, so the phone is super helpful. We use that a lot of times for a hotspot. I feel like the hardest two things are power and Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi, we found a couple different ways. Sometimes our car now has Wi-Fi, which is fantastic. So we can hook up to that. I know Starlink is a big thing right now that a lot of people have been doing. So there's all kinds of different ways to get Wi-Fi around. And then power, we use this thing called a Jackery power generator. It's amazing. It basically powers all of our laptops, recharges our phones. It comes with a couple of solar panels as well. So when we're on the road, let's say we're camping, we do some photos that morning and we need to charge up, we can just put our solar panels out and be charged for the entire day.
Wow. Oh, the solar panels are my favorite part. They're so good for the environment too. You're not worrying about fuel. It's not loud. You just get everything you need, charge it up, and you're ready to go. So you're doing all of this. What would you say is the best part about working from the road?
I feel like the best part is just being able to have the flexibility. I feel like before, when we worked our 9-to-5s, we only really could travel on Saturday and Sunday. So if it was raining on Saturday and Sunday and sunny Monday through Friday, it'd be like, well, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to still go if it has bad weather? So I feel like the flexibility of when it's sunny outside, we can send our trips, and when it's cloudy, we can just kind of hunker down, work on the road, and stay cozy.
Well, you're convincing me, and you're certainly an ambassador for this amazing lifestyle. Any downsides to being digital nomads?
I feel like not having a routine necessarily is the only hard part, because it is on the go. Sometimes you need to hop on a work phone call and you're like, oh, I don't have any Wi-Fi. I'm in the middle of the mountains. What am I going to do? So there are some hardships that come with it, but I feel like for us in our lifestyle, having the flexibility to just sit down, work on the road in front of a beautiful mountain or right next to some hot springs has completely changed the game.
And Brandy and I both said, okay, this is our dream job. So what tips would you give us or some of our viewers who might be aspiring to combine work and travel?
I have this quote that I tell everyone. It says, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start in order to be great. And that's kind of how we started road tripping. I used to do a lot of camping and backpacking, and G was much more of the luxury traveler. So we kind of brought ourselves together. And that's when I found the Jackery. The biggest problem is one time we were on a trip and we had to jump our car 3 times because the power kept dying because we were trying to charge our laptops, our phones, and everything in there. So now that we could have the Jackery, as well as we got some different ways to get Wi-Fi on the road, it's made it so we can work anywhere easier. So I feel like if you're thinking about it, try and do it 1 or 2 days and then slowly see if you can extend it longer and longer.
All right, you have mentioned mountains, you've mentioned springs. Do you have a top 3 places that you have visited?
That's a great question. One of my favorites is Southwest in Utah. There's this one area right in between Bryce and Zion.
yes.
It has amazing views. It's super close to a ton of different areas. I feel like the second one is probably out in Mammoth, California. It's right next to the mountains. It's right next to the hot springs. It's next to the tallest point in the U.S. So that spot is amazing. And then right on the coast of California in Big Sur, we can go up above the clouds if it's cloudy, because there's some really, really cool coastal clouds that come in and you can get a beautiful sunset out there. And just the vibe of Big Sur. We always meet a lot of other digital nomads as well. So it's fun to kind of see what they're doing and see if we can work together.
And you're talking about that marine layer. As a meteorologist, I love watching the clouds out there and watching that marine layer come in. And if you're just above that, that's super cool. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's the most magical thing. I remember we brought this one person in from Texas and we were shooting just some portraits of her. And we were like, asking her if she wanted to go do something for sunset, and it was super cloudy. So I was like, let's go up above the clouds. And she's like, what? You can do that? She'd never seen anything like it in her life. It was unreal.
I love that so much. How can our viewers learn more about you two? Because you're so interesting, and get more information about that cool Jackery generator.
You can find us on TikTok for little fun short videos. On YouTube, we put all of our longer form tips, and that's where we really help people with itineraries. And then on Instagram, that's where we mostly talk about the Jackery and our day-to-day life and how we went from working the 9 to 5 to now doing this full time.
Absolutely amazing. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure, and gives us some inspiration for those in other states to get through these winter months, thinking of new fabulous destinations.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right. So Cheryl, what I took from that, here's the difference between you and I. Brilliant meteorologist talking about the marine layers. Me, those are pretty clouds. Yay. So
that's why,
all kinds.
Yeah, that's why we all would make a great team, right? I can enlighten you. You can say, oh, look at the beauty. Yeah, so much fun.
We all agree on that. All right. Well, up next, meet a real superhero, Santa Barbara's Teacher of the Year. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Danielle, Brandy, there are many kinds of heroes in our lives these days. First responders, nurses, and of course, our parents. Heroes come in all shapes and sizes.
Oh, you bet. And one group, we've all been impacted by them now, maybe our children, or certainly when we were growing up, and they have earned hero status the last couple of years, our teachers.
Yes, and I just hold a special place in my heart for those teachers who help students with special needs. And believe me when I say you're going to be inspired by Joanna Hendricks, the 2023 Santa Barbara County Teacher of the Year and a finalist for California State Teacher of the Year. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Joanna Hendricks. I teach preschool and kindergarten in the Regional Deaf Education Program for SBCEO. I teach 3, 4, 5, and 6-year-olds. All of my students are in my class because they have an eligibility of either being deaf or hard of hearing. And so I have students that use a variety of languages. Some are speaking, some are signing, and some are really at the beginning stages of language development. Doors on the bus go open and shut all through the town. Most of our students have received services from 0 to 3, but even with that, they come to me with an incomplete language foundation. And so oftentimes they come frustrated and overwhelmed with their inability to communicate. And that's not due to their deafness, it's more due to their access to language. And so here, we really are striving to make sure that everything is accessible linguistically. Our brains are equipped to take in that information auditorily or visually, and so we do it all. Say, I like to paint. Paint. Paint, that's painting, good job.
She goes above and beyond. Language for her is not just in the classroom and it's not just for her students. She involves the parents and she wants language to be as a whole. She wants parents to be as involved as they can be. And it's very hard when parents like myself that don't know the language, the stress we're dealing with in life, and she makes us part of it. She goes above and beyond.
I think that parents, that's part of why it's so beautiful that Joanna creates those relationships, because the parents trust her and she establishes that trust very early on. And she's just uber communicative. She celebrates her students' wins. Everything she does, when it comes down to it, it's just what's best for students. And she's just exceptional.
My favorite part of being a teacher, I think, would be cultivating relationships with parents and students. And those bonds and those connections that we make are really the joy for me. And that's, I think, where I thrive. That's what gives me energy.
She played a lot of roles for me and she advocated for me. She comforted me in times where I needed her, providing me that reminder that my son will be successful. And it was true.
I want my students to know that they are capable and that they are seen and heard and loved, and regardless of any disability or hearing levels, that they can be whomever they want to be. And I want them to go out into the world and know their potential and know their worth and just thrive.
Wow. And you could just tell in her students' faces looking at her how much they loved her and they loved learning.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, you can find out more about Joanna as well as the other teachers honored in this year's Salute to Teachers event on the Santa Barbara County Education Office website, sbceo.org/salute.
Absolutely. I love that Salute to Teachers event. Great one by Cox and I can't miss. And speaking of can't miss, coming up, we're going to hear about one man's story of how he turned his tragedy into triumph.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Danielle, Brandy, it's an unfortunate fact of life that sometimes accidents happen. And sometimes they're just inconvenient, but sometimes they can change your life.
That's right. Christian Oliver is here with a personal story of how an accident many years ago sent him on a journey to help others in the same situation. Mr. Oliver, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So we know you are a trial lawyer and managing attorney with the Barnes firm, but this incident that happened when you were a teenager started you on that path. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I remember it vividly. It was August 4th, 1996. It was the closing ceremonies of the Summer Olympics. My best friend and I were driving home, and he was speeding, as teenage boys will do, and lost control of the car. The car flipped upside down. It had T-tops. Car crashed down onto its roof. Unfortunately, my left arm got caught between the T of the roof of the car, and unfortunately grounded against the pavement for about 100 yards and severed about half of my left arm.
Oh my gosh. I mean, when something like that happens, obviously it's incredibly traumatic. What kind of impact did that have on you and your family?
You know, back then there was this popular show called Rescue 911 where they would, you know, dramatize these big events, and then they would always end with some, you know, video of them in their post life. And I just had this immediate image of swinging my little brother around on a tree swing with one arm, and that was the new reality that I had from that moment. After the initial shock of it and the hospitalization and the long road to recovery, really the thing that stuck with me most, the hardest part, was walking in on my mom one night and from behind, and I could see her shoulders, you know, shaking, and I could tell she was crying. And you know, I was 16 at the time, and I noticed in front of her a pile of medical bills. And you know, my family didn't come from means, and you know, both of my parents had to work multiple jobs to put food on the table, and you know, this was the last thing that my family needed. And I just felt so terrible. I felt guilty. I felt ashamed. I felt embarrassed that I was putting my family through that. And I didn't know where the money was going to come from. You know, I was a dishwasher making $5 an hour. I didn't know where hundreds of thousands of dollars of medical bills and how we were going to pay for those. And you know, that was really the scariest part of it all for me, was just feeling helpless, and seeing my parents feel helpless was really one of those things a child never forgets.
Oh, wow.
So based on your line of work now, I'm wondering if someone in the legal field came forward, and how did that impact your family to navigate all those insurance companies and questions?
You know, we were fortunate. My parents hired a law firm back then known as Celino and Barnes, and believe it or not, that's the same Barnes that is the Barnes firm today. And they helped my parents, and you know, it wasn't about suing somebody. It was about helping my family figure out a way to pay for all of the medical bills. And they allowed us to concentrate on taking care of ourselves and healing and being a family, and they took care of everything else. And that was the best thing that anybody could have done for our family at that time.
Absolutely. I mean, as you mentioned, that was the most scary part. It wasn't even the actual traumatic part of the incident. It was just dealing with the legal maze of everything. How has that experience kind of colored the way you deal with your clients now?
You know, it led me on this path to wanting to help others, and I can relate to them. And I know what they're going through, and I know how scary and stressful this can be. And it's very rewarding to be able to take that stress and scary out of their lives and help them focus on getting better.
So for one of our viewers who may be watching this, listening to your story, and either has been through something like this or may in the future, what would your advice to them be?
Number one, don't give up. It's going to get better. Time heals all, and you will get through this. You will get better. And number two, ask for help. There's no shame in going to experts who deal with this type of thing. So contact an attorney, help yourself, help your family, and you will get through this.
Oh man, I so appreciate you sharing your story with us today, and I'm sure that viewers want to hear more about it. So, how can viewers find more information about your story or the Barnes firm if they have any questions?
Sure. Well, they can call us anytime at 1-800-8-million, 1-800-800-0000, or they can contact us at thebarnesfirm.com.
Thank you so much for sharing your story, and congratulations on turning something that was so traumatic into something so positive.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Oliver, thank you again. I'm sure you're impacting a great number of people, including those who heard your story today. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Wow. Well, I love what he said there. Time heals all. Don't give up. And that kind of ties into what we're going into next, which is healthcare focused on your total well-being. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. All right, we all know how important it is to take good care of our health, right? Well, a big part of that is having access to good quality healthcare professionals.
I know it's so important. It could be difficult too. And if you're eligible for Medicare, you might have questions about the multitude of different supplement plans that are available. I know it can be confusing.
Yes, but never fear, because Erica Cardenas is here. She hosts our sister Your View show, Your Health, and she had a chance to learn more about a unique Medicare supplement program focused on your total well-being. Let's take a look.
Joining me now is Paco Franco, Medicare benefits consultant with Clever Care. Thank you so much for joining us, Paco.
Thank you so much, Erica. I really appreciate it.
First off, we hear that Clever Care is a health plan customized for growing diverse populations. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most distinct differences of Clever Care is that we combine the principles of Eastern and Western medicine to our approach of healthcare. You know, we believe in the complete well-being of our members and believe that wellness should be affordable. Clever Care offers member support for services in various different languages, whether it be Tagalog, Chinese, Korean. But in addition, you can also visit our various community centers that we have in Koreatown, Westminster, San Gabriel Valley, and there you'll be able to have personalized service from our knowledgeable team members.
So, Paco, how does Clever Care differ from other health insurance plans?
Unlike most Medicare Advantage insurance plans, Clever Care is built for your health and culture. Our plan includes benefits that cover Eastern and Western principles, so you're not having to pay more to keep your traditions alive. Plus, we have over 15,000 provider facilities in our network. We've also have over 55 hospitals here in Southern California that specifically speak your language.
Wow, that's great. So what other Eastern medicine benefits does Clever Care offer?
With Clever Care Medicare Advantage HMO plans, we're able to offer benefits that cover Eastern medicine treatments like unlimited acupuncture with no referrals needed, or even services like gua sha, tui na, reflexology, cupping, infrared therapy, massage therapy, so much more.
Now, Paco, there are other Medicare Advantage plans that, offer those benefits too. So what else makes Clever Care stand apart?
Great question. Thank you so much, Erica. Most Medicare Advantage plans are designed with a general person in mind, a number. And your individual wellness and traditions are typically not part of the equation. But Clever Care is built for your health and your culture.
Wow, Paco, that's amazing. So many benefits for sure. So tell us, who can sign up for a Clever Care health plan?
Absolutely. Anybody who's eligible for Medicare can join Clever Care Medicare Advantage HMO plan. We also have another enrollment period coming up called the annual enrollment period. This is the most popular one, which takes place from October 15th to December 7th. And during this time, you can sign up for a new plan, you can switch plans, you can leave a plan, or simply just return to your original Medicare.
Great. Paco, thank you so much for being with us and sharing all of this great information. If you'd like to learn more about Clever Care, just head over to their website.
As always, incredible information from Erica, and you can get more information about the different Clever Care Medicare Advantage plans available in California on their website, getclevercare.com, or by calling 833-388-2463.
Straight ahead, more Main Street Living.
Welcome back into Main Street Living one last time here with Brandy and Cheryl. And guys, I don't know about you, but all this did was make me realize how much I have to do before the holidays hit.
It's like if I could just pause time, that would be super. All right, but if you're out and about on the go, hey, you can watch us while you're doing it. Just download the Cox Contour app, sign in, and search for your view.
Absolutely. And as always, we have brand new episodes of Main Street Living Mondays at 9 p.m. local time. So make sure you join us then as we take another stroll down Main Street.